Hello, Pisces. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bunny Cat's Oracle. I'm Marianne, and I want to welcome you to my channel. Great to have you here. This is going to be a reading for December 2020, or for whenever you clicked on this video. If you have Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus, or if you're just curious to know what's going on for the Pisces Collective. I do apologize. I'm a couple days late this month. I've had a really busy couple of weeks, surprisingly, despite being in lockdown. But enough about me. Let's get started with your reading. As usual, I like to start with a prayer. So I am saying a prayer. This is a non-denominational prayer, by the way. So whatever you believe in, or even if you're an atheist, I pray for you. I pray for you that you are healthy, that you're happy, that you and your loved ones are safe and protected, that you are blessed, that you're being gentle with yourselves and everyone you meet, and that all your best wishes are coming true. Without further ado, let's get started. I'll just move my coffee aside. Okay, using the Thoth deck today from Aleister Crowley. This is the first deck I ever learned to read on, and I kind of missed it, so I thought I'd bring it back for the channel. So, universe, what do we have in store for Pisces for December 2020? What do they need to hear, please? What's going on for the baby sharks? For the home team, also Pisces. So really curious to see what's going on here. What's going on, Pisces? What do they need to know? All right. What's going on for Pisces in December 2020, please? All right, let's get started. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'll just make them nice. All right, let's see. What do we have in your present here? Ooh, you have the 6 of discs. Wonderful. And the 9 of discs. Oh, I like this. Somebody's got money on the mind. And we have the star. And then up top, we have the 10 of wands. So you guys are like really lucky this month. The 9 of discs is the card of financial independence. In this deck, it's known as the card of gain, great gain, money. And 6 is a card of success. So it's like you're on your way, making some money and making even more money. This is and this is your present energy. And we have the star. So it's kind of like you're making your dreams come true. I hope this applies to everyone out there, at least this part, because this is really good. But with the 10 of wands at the top, it just feels like you have a lot of responsibilities right now. You may be feeling even a little bit overwhelmed by everything you have to do, but don't give up, because it's really going in the right direction. Like, it seems like you're really making a good life for yourself. Even if you don't see that right away, it seems like you're really on the right path. Like, the star is about recovery after chaos, healing, making a dream come true, and even having that ability to dream again, having hope for the future, which is really like that missing ingredient that we all need to make a good life, right? You could have everything going for you, but if you don't have hope, if you don't have a dream for the future, you have nothing, right? So I kind of see Pisces this month having everything, but everything is a lot. It is a lot. There may be a lot weighing on you. It may just be like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to do this, this, and this. Just take it one step at a time and be grateful, be present in the moment, because you're definitely on the right path. And this is beautiful. I love seeing the star at the center of your reading. And the 9 of discs, I may have mentioned before, is one of my favorite cards in the deck, because it's all about that money and that luxury and feeling like you don't have to depend on anybody. Like, you can depend on yourself. So I like that. Let's see what else is going on here. Recent past. We've got the devil. Okay, my favorite place to see the devil is in the past rather than your present or your future. So let's not get worried about that. We also have the Wheel of Fortune. We have the 4 of Wands, which looks a lot like a wheel here as well, doesn't it? And we have the Ace of Swords. Wow. Okay. So some of you actually could have recently dealt with a partner, or like a former partner who maybe was a little bit toxic. I say partner because we have the 4 of Wands here, which is like, well, here it's known as the card of completion, but I know this card as being like a partnership. It can also represent a promotion, but it often represents a marriage, and it may not necessarily be a real marriage for some of you. It may have just been like a connection, a very strong connection. Somebody who may have come around again, like somebody from your past who maybe tried to come back for, another round. With the Devil card, like I do feel like you're very, very strongly attached to this person, if this is a person that we're talking about, but it's not a super healthy attachment, which is why I say I prefer to see this in the past, right? It seems like you've gotten some clarity on this though. Like I really see somebody who's kind of moved on. It's like you've got a new dream in the present. This is like no longer relevant. The Ace of Swords is all about that clarity and that truth. I'll bring it closer because I really love this card in this deck. It's like glowing. It looks like the sword of Excalibur. And then there's like this beautiful crown at the top. Can you see this? Of course, it's not really well in focus, but I just love like the glow emanating from this sword and this just feeling of like, whoa, like the truth, the power. So some of you have gotten some clarity on something. Could be about a person. It could also be just about like your life. Like the Devil can also represent a toxic habit. It tends to represent those things that hold us back, right? Those things we feel bound to. It's like the people in these little eggs here are going round and around and around. And it's like they think they can't escape, but they can, So you could have had some bad habit or even just like a bad way of thinking, that has kind of held you back. And with the Ace of Swords, you may have gotten some clarity about this recently. Like you've realized, what, this needs to go. Like maybe it's smoking, maybe it's overeating, maybe it's just like feeling really down in the dumps all the time. And, you kind of just realize in a moment, like, what, I just need to shake this off. And I think you have, right? Because the Four of Wands can be about moving to a new level. It may be that you've had this moment of realization that, what, I need to let this thing go if I'm going to move to this new level in my life. And you have let it go, right? And you're moving into your new future. You could have even been lucky, right? Going from the Wheel of Fortune to the 6 and the 9 of Pentacles, which is about great material gain. So you may have had a lucky break. It may have had something to do with giving up something toxic, or this may have been even the result of this, but I like it. I like it a lot. Let's actually look at your near future. Okay, we've got the 7 of Wands. Okay, we've got the Knight of Swords. We've got the Knight of Discs. And we have the 3 of Wands. Okay, lots of fire coming through here. Okay, so 2 Knights. So things are definitely picking up for you. The 3 of Wands talks about a lot of opportunities. You're definitely creating a lot of opportunities for yourself. This is about having, ships at sea. Some of you could be traveling, or if not traveling, given all the restrictions right now, definitely communicating with people overseas, people at a distance. You're definitely putting things into play and getting a lot of people's attention, right? This card is also associated with commerce. So some of you could be working on a business and reaching a lot of people like far away, right? With the 3 of Wands. 7 of Wands shows you having to defend yourself. In this deck, it's known as Valor. It's also the card of advocacy. So you could be standing up for someone else as well, but really feeling like you've got to protect what you have, being very strong, being very brave. Like I said, lots of like fire energy up like in this area here, and fearless and persistent. For some of you, you could be dealing with 2 people. The Court cards can often represent people. The Knight of Swords can represent an opponent or just somebody who's very, very logical, very smart, but, could be a little cutting with their words. Not necessarily an enemy, but somebody that may be like a little harsh. The Knight of Discs is a caring and loyal protector type. But as energies, the Knight of Discs is about being persistent, taking things one step at a time and not giving up. So it's saying, your success doesn't happen overnight. You do need to keep working at it. But the thing is, the Knight of Discs always gets where he needs to go. It's like that story of the tortoise and the hare. Like the tortoise makes it to the end of the race because he's just moving at his own pace, one step at a time. Whereas, the hare is going, super fast, like this Knight of Swords here, and then burning out and then taking a nap while the tortoise walks right by and gets to the end of the race, right? So it may be that, part of you wants to move full speed ahead. and wants to dive in fearlessly and then is burning out. And what you need to apply is the energy of the Knight of Discs to remember to just be consistent, be persistent, keep going. Even if you're tired, just do a little bit every day and you will get through to the end of these 10 wands here, right? Okay, so we're going to see what else is coming on in our deck here. I'm going to take 3 cards for your motivation. Oh my goodness. We have the Lust card. Okay, so this card is interesting. It is equivalent to the Strength card in the Rider-Waite Tarot. It's known as Lust in this card. And also the numbers are switched. So this becomes number 11. Normally it would be number 8. Some of you could have a Leo on your mind. We have a Leo. I'm sorry. You are the first people that I have spoken to today. I just want to make that clear. I apologize if I can't get the words out of my mouth. A Leo, we have a lion on the card. So some of you have a Leo on your mind. For others, it's about being brave. Even though the card is called Lust, generally this major arcana is about being able to overcome those base instincts, like lust being one of them, fear being another one, right? This card is definitely associated with bravery. So you are needing to be courageous this month. And I think that you realize that. There's a need for rest. It doesn't mean that you should be resting all month, but I do get the sense that you need to kind of watch your energy levels. You need to make sure that you've got a good balance of rest and of work, right? So it's not, falling into a depression and lethargy, right? But it's not, going full speed ahead, all the time at the same time and burning yourself out, right? You kind of need, a little bit of work, a little bit of rest. You may be recovering from something as well, right? Because seeing the devil in your recent past, there may have been, like, for example, if you're getting over an addiction, your body might just need more rest just so it can kind of recover and heal. If this was a toxic relationship, whether that is, a sexual relationship or a romantic one, or even somebody you worked with, you may just need to kind of rest and recover and take some time for yourself to just kind of heal emotionally, right? And December would be a good time to do that. It is, traditional holidays, so people are supposed to take rest at this time. There's also a feeling of needing to kind of balance your responsibilities. I do get the sense you all have like kind of conflicting responsibilities right now, or several, and you're needing to make sure that you devote enough time to each and kind of keep that in balance. I would definitely recommend, for those of you who need to hear this, that you just kind of focus on your daily routine, right? This, for myself, has definitely been my biggest obstacle. Now that I'm working from home, I love it, but I do technically have 3 jobs. And, it's not that any one of them is really asking that much for me, but having to do them all, sometimes I have a hard time just kind of organizing myself during the day. So that's something that's become blatantly obvious to me. If I'm going to succeed working from home, I need to get myself on a good routine, a good schedule, and make sure that, everything gets done. So that might be on your mind this month. And there may be a particular person on your mind that's still kind of creeping up in your thoughts in a sort of sexy way. So for some of you, not all, maybe even 2 people, right? Maybe you've got these 2 nights kind of conflicting for your attention. I don't know. Let's see what else is going on. Okay. This line here is about what's hidden. It can also be something kind of further out into the future, something you don't see. We've got the High Priestess. We've got the 5 of Discs. We've got the 2 of Wands. Okay, so we have 2 2s here. So there's definitely a decision to be made. Oh, and here we have the card of Justice. Although in this deck, it's called Adjustment. And as you can see, it is card 8. It would normally be card 11, which would... not normally, but in other decks, traditionally it's card 11, which would actually be associated with the High Priestess, the card 2, which also is above another 2. So there is definitely a decision to be made, and it's something you may not even be aware of yet. There's also a need to get out of your comfort zone to kind of push yourself a little further. And in doing so, you're really going to need to trust your intuition. We have the High Priestess here. So there could actually be a secret concerning someone around you, or even somebody that you work with that has not yet come to light. So if you have a kind of sneaky feeling about somebody, you may want to kind of investigate that, or just, keep your eyes open. I mean, I don't recommend you spy on people, but But there is some sort of secret here, and there's some sort of choice to be made. And it seems like it's making somebody really nervous with the Five of Discs here. Somebody, you may be worried about leaving someone or not having somebody in your life, or just, like that feeling of getting out of your comfort zone. There may be somebody that you rely on, or even a group of people that you think you need to rely on, but you might not have to. I might need some clarification on this line. Let's see here. I'm just going to shuffle these playing cards and just kind of see what comes up. Let's see. Tell me about this. Oh, here we go. Okay. Well, we've got Queen of Hearts coming out. We've got a Three of Spades, and we've got a Six of Pentacles. Now, the Queen kind of went this way, so I'm going to actually leave that there for now, and I'm going to come back to this after. I'm going to take these two cards here. So, Three of Spades, generally this is kind of a heartbreak. So, but then it's followed by the Six of Diamonds, which would be equivalent to the Six of Pentacles. And this card is a really lucky card. Like, it can be about an inheritance. It can be about getting a lump sum of money. A lottery. It can also be about, give and take, charitable work, but generally a really positive card financially. So totally different energy than this Three of Spades. So there may be somebody in your midst that is doing something that kind of breaks your heart, or if you were to know about it, it would kind of break your heart. But if you were to make the difficult decision to leave this situation behind, however attached to it you may be, it seems like you would be very lucky. Like, it seems like you're moving into an energy where you can make some more money. It may be a lover, for example, that, there's two twos here, right? And then we have the Justice card. So it may be that they are, juggling two people, right? Or you may be juggling two people, because you've also got this two over here, right? So it may be you that has another lover on your mind, and maybe you have to choose between one. Or that your other lover has to choose between you and somebody else. And it's not the greatest situation, unless you want to be in a polyamorous relationship, which, having tried it, I wouldn't recommend it, but to each their own, right? I don't judge. But it kind of seems like if you make the difficult decision to leave this other lover behind, or whoever it is that you feel you can't trust, or you can't, juggle with somebody else, that you're moving into an energy that's much more focused on your money and on your finances and on your career, which feels like that's where your energy needs to be this month, So if someone is hurting you, let them go. It may hurt to let them go, but it feels like things are going to go much more positively for you in other areas of your life if you do. So whoever needs to hear that, remember that these readings are just for fun. So if they don't apply to you, they don't apply to you. It's fine. You can always click off, or you can just stay and hang out if you just want to kind of see what's up and hang out with me. Let's see what else. Okay, I'm going to get some cards for some advice here. We have the Moon. We have the Three of Swords, which is equivalent to this card. Okay. All right. And we have the Eight of Swords here. Okay. So the Eight of Swords is about overcoming your fear. The Moon can also talk about fear. I'm kind of getting a sense it's like somebody needs to push past their own emotions. It's almost like you are your worst enemy, and you may think it's about another person or about somebody breaking your heart. It's almost like you're kind of projecting that on them, and then they may be breaking your heart. But I mean, ultimately, we're all responsible for our own emotions, and we are responsible for the attachments that we make with other people and the attachments that we hang on to beyond the point of realizing that they're no good for us, right? So some of you, I get the sense you may be dealing with somebody who's no good for you. And you may just be overly attached. You're not seeing things as they are. You may be seeing things as you want them to be. With the Moon here, it's like when you look at things at night, they look different, right? They look beautiful when they're all lit up by the moon. But you're not seeing them as they are because it's dark out, right? You need to see this person in the light of day, and they might not look so pretty, right? It's like when you bring somebody home from a bar, not that I make a point of doing that, but I was young once too. And you meet them in the morning, and it's like, wow, what was I thinking? It's not the same person, right? So you kind of need to open your eyes. The Eight of Swords here, we actually just see 8 swords, not much going on. But in the Rider-Waite, which is in my mind's eye, we would see somebody who has her eyes closed, is blindfolded and kind of tied up, with very loose strings and sort of acting like, she can't move forward. All she needs to do is just, break off those threads and take off that blindfold, and she can move forward. So don't let your fear hold you back. Things are not as they appear, and things are not nearly as terrible as they appear. Okay, that's the message here. And let go of whoever is causing you this feeling, this Three of Swords, this heartbreak, this sorrow. Just please let them go. If Rambling Mike was here, and he's not, but if he was, he would take this card and he would go, out, 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 get out of my Pisces heart. I love that. I love that guy. He always makes me laugh. So I'm just going to turn that over, okay? Because I just don't want you dealing with that. Again, it's a difficult decision, right? With the High Priestess here. And it's something you got to listen to your gut. If you have a gut feeling about somebody who doesn't belong in your life, you need to listen to that. Okay, now let's go back here, because this Queen of Hearts came out here earlier, and it was between the Four of Wands and the Wheel of Fortune. So for some of you, it could be a woman that you were dealing with. Hearts would be associated with the sign of Cups in the tarot. So could be a water sign. Doesn't have to be a woman. A queen typically does represent a woman, though. Somebody who is very caring, very imaginative, not the most practical person in the world, because they spend a lot of time in their imagination, in their emotions. And they do have good ideas, but a little too emotional. This is really what's coming to mind here. And I do get the vibe. So for those of you who haven't dealt with somebody like this in the past, that was a bit toxic for you, it may be that this was sort of your energy, that you were kind of a little bit too up in your emotions and not seeing things exactly as they are, right? And somebody may be terrible for you, but for whatever reason, you may have made them into sort of like an imaginary version of them, if that makes any sense. Like you kind of project onto them what you would like them to be, and you're not seeing them exactly as they are. So you may imagine this, beautiful, marriage playing out in your head, or this great relationship that you could have, but it's not the relationship that you do have. The relationship that you do have or did have is more like the devil, which is like feeling bound to somebody because of lust or because of codependency. And it's not really a healthy union. Now, leaving that behind, you move out of this energy of being all up in your emotions, and you move to being really focused on your work, really focused on your money, and kind of getting things going here with the Knights. My 2 Knights kind of tell me that things are picking up. So I like that, but I know it's not easy, especially for Pisces. We are, known to be a very emotional sign. That doesn't mean that we're always very emotional, but, we are water creatures, right? So it's not the easiest thing to kind of detach and just focus on reality. But that is what I see you doing this month. And it seems to be very, very positive for you. Let me see if I can get a few more cards here for clarifying. I'm just going to shuffle and just see where they fall. It's kind of fun. Oh, there we go. And this one seems to come out too, but where does he want to go? Wants to go over there. Okay. So we have 7 of Hearts and the 3 of Clubs in between the 7 of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles. Okay. 7 of Clubs, by the way, would be equivalent. Oh, sorry, not 7. The 3 of Clubs would be equivalent to the 3 of Wands. Clubs represent the wands in the playing card deck. So this is like confirming there's some kind of opportunity. With the 7 of Hearts, it's like you have a lot of choices, you have a lot of options, and some of them are going to feel like a dream come true, right? But there's lots of them. You have to choose wisely. So you are definitely making some dreams come true, but there's a real need here to be careful about what you choose, and lots of opportunities, okay? As the 3 of Wands indicates and is double confirmed here. Lots and lots of opportunities. Some of them may not be the right path. Okay. You can't take all of them. You need to be really, really careful. Some of them might leave you feeling like you're left out in the cold in the end, like are sort of dead ends, right? It's like, I think of acting a lot because I also work as an actress, and sometimes I work really, really hard to book a role, and then I get the role, and then I'm so excited. And then the role just kind of disappears. Like the movie just doesn't get made, or, everything is put on kibosh because of the pandemic, or some location falls through. And then it's just, I never hear anything ever again. And I'm like, wow, I did 3 auditions to get that role, and I got my hopes up, and I celebrated when I got it, and it went nowhere. And that's just life. It sucks. But that's something that actually happens a lot in my business. So maybe you're not acting, you probably have a different sort of business, but you may run into this sort of situation. Like, not everything that's presented to you is going to pan out, but some of them will. Some of them will pan out really, really well. You just need to choose wisely. So please listen to your intuition this month. Listen to your tummy, okay? If you get a bad feeling about something, then that's probably not the thing, right? So maybe you still try out for it, but just kind of don't put all your eggs in one basket kind of thing. And maybe try not to get your hopes up, or, pin all your hopes on kind of one situation or on one person. But tons of opportunity here, it seems. That's fun. Let's see what this is. It fell in between the Devil card, the 4 of Wands, and the 2 of Pentacles. Here we have the 8 of Diamonds. Okay. So this is about your talents and your work. And it is a really positive card. It tends to say, reward is just around the corner. It's like, keep going. You may have started to see some rewards from the work that you're doing, whatever it is. Many of you have some sort of artistic talent, and that might be what you're really working on this month, really focusing on that. For others, it could be a trade, or like I said, like a business that you're doing from home or something. But you seem to be really working on your talents, and the message is like, you got to keep working on your talents. This line again here, this is about what's motivating you. So focusing on your work and getting ahead in your career. In this case, the 4 of Wands is about getting ahead, right? It could be about a promotion. It could be about people seeing you in a new light, coming into a new place in your community. So I see you really focusing on that talent, and that seems to be really positive. It also may be what helps you to overcome this devil energy. So whatever that is for you, whether it's, again, a person that you dealt with that was kind of toxic and just not the best for you, or just like a bad habit, like focusing on your skills, your talents, and really just like diving right into that and getting into that flow is going to help you to forget about this negativity. So please do that, Pisces. If you have a talent, I'd love to hear all about it. Love to hear what you're working on. Do I want to get a few more cards? Yeah, why not? Just going to shuffle, see where they fall. Okay, 9 of Clubs here. In between the Moon, the High Priestess, and the 5 of Discs here. This would be like the Knight of Wands. Now I'm holding the Joker in my hand. This is like, anything can happen. There's a real wild vibe to this month. Interesting, because I did my own reading before I did this reading, and I'm also Pisces, and I did get a Joker card in my reading, which is like, anything can happen, especially with the Star card here, and then the Star falling, under these 2 very, very positive cards for financial. It's like anything could happen, right? Back to this, the 9 of Clubs would be like the 9 of Wands in the tarot, which is the card of not giving up. It just says, don't give up. Even though you may run into some situations that leave you feeling worried or distressed, or like, rejected somehow with the 5 of Pentacles, it says, don't give up. Just keep going, keep believing in yourself, keep following your intuition with that High Priestess card. Keep moving forward, even though you cannot see what is ahead of you with the Moon, even though you may feel emotional or feel fearful, just don't give up. It's kind of like a shout out to the Knight of Discs over here. Okay. Don't give up. Believe in yourself, Pisces. I believe in you. I believe you can do anything as long as you just keep going. Okay. The worst thing that could happen is that you just give up. Okay. So don't do that. I feel like we should get some oracle cards to close out this reading, and let's get an animal card for now, or maybe a few. We'll see what comes up. Nope. So we got the moth, and we've got the snake. So on the bottom of the deck, actually, I am going to flip it over. We got the cobra here, and we'll just leave this here. So this is like a really opposing energy. The moth is like beginner energy, right? It's like there's this naive, like moving towards the light. Like moths, what do? They just fly into the light, and they usually end up getting burned, right? So I think of somebody like just starting out in their career and just kind of so naive, and the kind of person that would get stuck in the traps that are spoken about in the moon. But the snake is a much wiser vibe. It's like I'm kind of almost seeing you guys going like from the moth to the snake. It's like you've learned some really tough lessons, or you may be in the process of learning them, or just like processing them. Because you're not in this moth energy anymore. There's a part of you that may still be like a little naive and still feel like you're just starting out, like you're starting out again, like here you are back at square one. But you're not. You've got this snake vibe, very wise. You've probably shed your skin several times already, and you may be about to shed your skin again. But we also see here that the snake is biting its own tail. The symbol represents eternal life, eternity. The wheel just keeps moving, right? And didn't you have the Wheel of Fortune here? Yes, you did. So you have 3 wheels really, like in your reading. I also kind of see that in this card too, the Change card. We also have this snake eating its tail, and we see the infinity sign, and we have all these wheels on our 6 and our 9 of discs. So I kind of get the sense that it's like you may feel like you're on a merry-go-round in a sense. And it's like, hey, like I did all this and then I ended up right back on my butt again, and I'm like right back at square one. But you're not. Like every time you come for another turn around the merry-go-round, you're wiser, you are smarter, you have learned more than before. You are like a brand new person. You may be starting out again, or feel like you're just kind of like starting out. But you have so much more to offer now than you would have in the past, right? So it's time to let the world see this wise, mature, new version of you, right? You may even have just this energy about you that's just more mature, just comforting to other people. You know, it's just a vibe that you give off. So I like that a lot, Pisces. And I think that this could be a really lucky month for you. You just need to believe in yourself, keep going. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. Focus on your routine if you find yourself feeling a little bit lost, and keep believing in yourself. Keep doing that special thing that you do. And I would love to hear all about it. If you want to let me know in the comments what you're working on. If you don't, that's okay too. And thank you again for joining me on the channel today. It's been great having you here, and I hope to see you again really soon. Bye.